Hello everyone. Today I'm going to go through the basics of the AutoCAD web and the basic commands. So you can start making drawings, drawings. And let's start off with the login process and where the buttons are, what they do, the outcomes will be. And from there you should be able to at least start with the very first assignment. All right. So you should have this link on the classroom page if you actually click on the link posted. You should go to sign in, use your school email address. This will allow you access. And if you are just using this computer over and over, same one, just click stay signed in. You should see this screen. You probably won't have all this stuff in here because I started doing some stuff. We'll eventually start making folders of stuff, drawings, so that it's better organized. This is for reference drawings. Like I've uploaded some images here so that you can actually put them into AutoCAD. I've noticed that unlike the full version of AutoCAD, you can't, why don't you see me? You can't actually have the just copy and paste an image and just have it be on AutoCAD. You need to do what's called an external reference. And I will show you guys how to do that if I haven't already. But that's the upload, new folder, and then new drawing, right? So we're mostly going to be worried about this today. Other storage is fine. You probably could link this to your Google Drive and have all that, but let's see if we even run out of storage before we do something like that. All right, so new drawing. I'm just going to call this demo just because I'm showing you guys what the commands do. And then your units. We're mostly going to just stay everything I give you, not everything, that's not even true. Most of the stuff that we're drawing will be in imperial. That's your regular old inches and feet, miles. But also you can just have metric. Doesn't matter, especially for this. All right. So this is what AutoCAD web looks like eventually. Wait for it. There it is. And AutoCAD web is a streamlined version of AutoCAD. All right. So it doesn't do everything that the regular AutoCAD does. Just like I said 2 seconds ago, it doesn't do copy and paste, for instance. But it does do enough, especially for what we want it to do. So I'm mostly going to just focus down here today. The Draw tab, the Annotate tab, and the Modify tab. A few other things to note. Down here is your command line, command prompt. You'll be able to, you see that? There you go. Down here is the command line. This is where you will be able to enter in most of your commands and hotkeys. So a lot of the stuff you won't see me clicking over here because I kind of know the hotkeys at this point. And by hotkeys, I mean like what you could type in to get a command to show up. This is where you're going to type those in. You'll see, I'll go over that more when we get there. And these down here on the right side are pretty important as well. The main one that you're going to want on often is your OSnap, your object snapped. I just have them all checked off, right? If you just go into settings, check them all off, right? This is all of them down here. Units, you can, this is also up here in the properties, navigation, whatever it may be. I would just check all these off. Just make your lives easier, check them all off. And then to actually turn it on is that. You should see it actually highlighted on. I'll go over what that is when we get to it. Object track, don't worry about. And then polar. Polar is an angle. Wow, every time I do that, it's going to go. And when it's going to actually snap to that particular angle. I'm going to leave it on 45 here just so you can kind of see what it looks like. But this is going to be helpful when we're drawing specific technical drawings where the things are kind of lined up, right? Again, all stuff that I will get to. So let's also have polar highlighted. This here you'll see is just a coordinate plane. XY, right? XY. Don't have to worry about that too much either. Now your controls in moving around. And if you don't have a mouse, please let me know. I can get you one. So if I push in on my mouse wheel, I'm doing what's called panning. It means I'm grabbing the screen and moving it all around. If I scroll with my scroll wheel, it zooms in. All right. One other thing with the clicking on the mouse, if I click and hold and drag down from top left to bottom right, you'll see a blue square. If I click and drag up from bottom right to top left, you'll see a green square. All right, and I will explain the difference of that in 1 second. Let's start drawing some things and I can more easily explain what that actually does. All right, so the first command here in the draw tab is a rectangle. So I'm going to click on rectangle. Now you can literally start drawing anywhere you want, right? This model space, it's called, goes on forever. We're obviously not going to be drawing a drawing that goes on forever. You even can draw every single assignment I give you all year in one file, all in the same model, but yet you can show different layouts, it's called. Again, stuff I'll get to. I want to start introducing this stuff, getting these ideas planted in your head there a little. All right, so I'm still in the rectangle command. If you look down here, it's starting to give me some prompts. We'll specify the first corner of the rectangle. It actually does not matter. It's not the left or right or anything like that. I can drag this in any direction I would like. I randomly clicked somewhere because it doesn't matter. I'm going to go like this. And you'll notice two values, right? So the first value going across in the X direction, and then your second value going in the Y direction. And it does give you a helpful hint there with the tab button. I'll explain that right now. So let's say I want my rectangle to be 25. Now I want to go to the other value. I'm going to hit the tab key. You'll see that there's a lock, as in that 25 is locked in. So right now, if I move left and right, that 25 doesn't change, but I can change it vertically. But I'm going to type in a value here as well. I'm going to say 50. Enter. So there's my rectangle, right? Mid-center mouse wheel, pan around, scroll wheel, zoom in. So there's my rectangle. That's still the same size. That's still 25 by 50, right? I hit tab to enter in the second value, and I hit enter in between the values. That is your rectangle. Circle, same idea, but you'll notice now over in my command prompt, I have 3 different types of circles I can draw. So generally speaking, if we were in regular AutoCAD, you'd be able to draw by radius and diameter, as well as these. These circles are all just radius. So you need to know your radius value to be able to draw it, right? Or, oh look, here's the diameter, sorry. I'm not as well versed in the web version, it's right there. If I want to do a diameter circle, I can just click on it. And now I'm doing a diameter, right? So the value I would type in, say I want 10 here, enter. If you hit enter as well, when I'm not in something, it repeats your last command. So I'm hitting enter again, clicking center. I'm back to radius. So this time if I type in 10, enter, look at that. My radius of 10 is bigger than my diameter of 10. Let's look at those other ones real quick. I'm hitting enter again, so I don't have to go move my mouse over the circle. Or C, you'll notice if I just start typing, C is for circle. I should have gone over this one for rectangle. What is rectangle? Is it R? It's just rectangle. I guess you gotta start spelling it out. That's why I don't know the hotkey for rectangle. Right, but C for circle is used pretty often. C, enter, now I can start my circle. What is a 3-point circle? Take a wild guess. 1, 2, and now look at this. So I had those 2 points I absolutely wanted it to hit. So for instance, I'm gonna hit escape here to get out of that circle. Enter to repeat my command. I'm gonna go back to my 3-point. Here's an example of some of my snap settings right down here. Oh, mouse, come back to me. Snap setting. You'll see these green symbols along the line. I want the circle to definitely touch both edges of this. So I'm going to click and click. I'm snapped to that. You'll notice now my 3-point circle, I'm definitely hitting where I just started drawing. Right? So click. There you go. There's my 3-point circle. Enter to repeat my command. I still want to show you a 2-point circle. 1, 2, there you go. You'll notice that snap went to the center of the rectangle. Again, these are all commands that I wanted on. So it made those, it showed me automatically with those green symbols, these things all over the place. And then what was the last one? Was a tan radius. So this would be typing in something. So I wanted to see how these were 3 points. It intersect the click marks. This one would be a tangent circle. And then he wants me to type in a radius. I'm going to say 2. 2 is going to be too small because this thing is tiny. 10. Enter. There you go. So I made tan. It's tangent to the line, and then the radius of 10. Those are all the circles. There's a bunch of circles. Mainly, I would just be concerned with C, enter, and then a radius. All right. You want to start at certain points. I absolutely wanted this circle to start this corner. I have my snap setting. There you go. There's the center of it. Circle. This one is an arc, and it's going to work the same kind of... Wait, why don't I have other arcs? Okay, just 3-point arc. There's way more arcs in the regular AutoCAD. There you go. I knew we were missing something here. Looks like I just have a single arc type, which is fine. We won't specifically be using arcs too often because you can get any arc you want by drawing a circle and then what's called trimming it. We'll get to that as well. Trim is under modify. I'm going to skip, and go here. I'll come back to those in a second. This is your line command. It's just L enter. That's one of the main ones. L enter, just to start drawing a line. Click, 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 click. You also can type in your values. I want it to be 10 in whatever direction it may be. Right? You type in values, 36 degrees. I want it to be 25. Enter, and it drags to that point. So when you're drawing something, you can type in the value that you want it to be. And then this is a polyline. It's going to look very similar, right? I'm clicking and drawing a line, but there is one key difference. When I draw a regular line, which is this one up here, right? If I click on it, it's just that single segment. It keeps them separate. As opposed to this one, which I drew as a polyline, I click on one thing, the whole thing is one object. It may seem like I'm going fast here. It's going to make way more sense when you're actually drawing something. I just want to point out what the things are that we're drawing here. Moving back to these buttons here, this is a spline. This is where AutoCAD is going to start doing some fancy math and start adding these curves in for you. So I'm going to click in my mouse wheel here just to move over to here. Now if I start drawing, it starts to make it curvy. So say you're trying to trace a picture. Whoopsies, you have to hit enter. I just hit escape there. Enter to repeat my command, right? And then enter to get out. You might want to do this if you're tracing a picture. So that's one of the first things we'll be doing. I will show you how to load a picture into AutoCAD, but you may want to be tracing it with the spline. That'll be the easiest way to go about it. Even though I clicked a bunch of times, just like with the polyline, this is one line. All right. And then this one here is an X reference line. It just goes the whole length of the thing. But this is at least good. I can show you. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There's everything I drew. Notice how I just snapped flat there? It says 0 degrees. That's because I have my polar tracking on. You'll also notice it's going to snap to 45, right? Because I changed this number to 45. Say I made it 30, and it's going to snap to 30, right? I'm going to use the word snap often. That just means that the mouse, if I just get close to it, it's going to snap to that point and lock you in there. And if even though I'm a little bit below, look, if you look where my cursor is, it's below that point. It's still going to draw it at 30 because I have it as a snap setting. But these we will use to set up what's called an orthographic projection. Don't worry about it yet. All right, but that is your X line right there. And then the last thing here is hatch. Hatch is filling objects in. This will slow down your Chromebook or computer. I have a brand new computer here and it's still going to slow it down. Don't worry about this right now. It's an internal point. If I click, it looks like it went away and didn't work. I hit enter. It made a hatch, right? So this particular hatch now, if you want to change it, the easiest way to go about it is to click on your hatch. You'll see this blue circle. It's highlighted. Go to properties. And they're all down here. These are all your different hatches. In regular AutoCAD, it shows you a little bit of what it looks like, but here you go. That would be a roofing hatch. For our engraving with a laser cutter, you would just make it solid, even though it doesn't look solid. When I click away, it's there. There is a hatch We will be using Hatch, but recognize that it slows your computer down, your Chromebook down especially. I would just not have it in your drawing until the very end. All right, that is all the draw commands that are available to you in the web version. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm going to go right to modify. I'm going to skip annotate for now. It's really just for dimensioning. When we go over what dimensioning is, we'll go over these. I'm just going to go right to modify so you can start drawing some stuff. So the first one here is move. Again, that's another one that I just type in and move. And it will be object based, right? So this one here, remember that was a line, so it's just that single line, while opposed to this one, which is a polyline. It's going to move the whole thing. But you'll notice there's multiple steps to doing this move command. So the first thing it would ask me was select my objects, right? Select objects. I still have that polyline. I'm going to choose this circle and this spline and whoopsies, got to hold shift. Right? Choosing my objects and that part of the line. Now when I hit enter, it's asking me where is the base point that I want to move things from. So basically, a lot of times you're going to choose a center because you want to move center to center. I chose a bunch of random objects. So I just choose this point here. That is the point I'm moving these objects that I chose around. So I'm going to move it there. Why not? Right? Move command. Is another good time to explain to you the difference of my left-right box to right-left box. Top left, down, bottom right. You notice that circle is entirely, let me zoom in. You'll notice this circle is entirely in the blue box that I made. While that arc that I made and that other circle, it's crossing it, but it's not entirely inside of that area. So I can highlight this with the blue circle, highlight that, then type in move, hit enter, choose my base point, and move just that circle. All right, I'm going to move it to there. If I go this way, you'll notice that circle is entirely in it, but when I let go, it selected everything that that green square intersected with. So that's an important distinction. Say I only wanted this arc right here, right? I'm not going to use this direction because that chose everything. I'm going to box it in this way. So everything that's inside the box, when I make it blue, it'll highlight just that. All right, it's a pretty useful thing, but a lot of people forget that that's how that works. All right, so that's your move command. Stretch, right, same kind of deal, base point here. Oh, I had that other thing highlighted. So it's actually stretching, it's not moving it right now. I'm not overly concerned with stretch. It's kind of like, not a bad habit, but there's other ways to do that type of thing. I would use the extend more often than not, or scale. But this would be if you only want to kind of morph or change the one side out, just kind of like this picture kind of looks like, right? This one's more useful for mirror. We're drawing something. I'm going to say these two circles here, I'm going to mirror it about this line. So again, you type in mirror or click the button. Now it's saying select my objects. I just want these two circles. I'm going to use my blue square. All right, even though I'm crossing the arc, it's not going to highlight it. There's my two circles. I'm going to hit enter. Specify first point of mirror line. So the way to think of this is you are where you want to flip over. Right, the center point. I want this line here to be my mirror line. I can click anywhere on it. I can even have this be my mirror line. But you need to click and then drag down. I'm along that line. Look at that. It's mirrored about this line. Click. It's going to ask me erase source objects. Enter would just be no. I don't want to get rid of the first ones, but maybe sometimes you do. And you'll notice there you go. I've mirrored both of those about this line. So this distance from here to here is equal from here to here. All right, mirror. Copy, that should be pretty self-explanatory. Select your objects, enter, select base point, make a bunch of copies. I highlighted that. Whoopsies, why is that highlighted? Trim, this is a big one. And this actually is an advantage over the regular AutoCAD. This trim command is way simpler. right? So I'm going to click trim. You'll notice you have this square. Click in the middle of some area. Like I want to clean up these inside here. I'm just going to click right here. I'm holding my click down and just start dragging this over. All those points. Now let go. It's erased. Right? I'm going to click inside here, drag it around, and erase those points. Right? I still want to get rid of that one. I click and drag it across. I'm zooming in here. Look at that. I don't like that. I'm going to click and drag. I don't like that. Whoops, I missed. Doesn't matter. Click and drag. Right? Click and drag your points across. You'll notice that little guy right there is still there. I'll show you how to get rid of that in a second. Oh no, I got rid of him. Sometimes you might have to just physically highlight and delete it. Like if you left that line in there, it won't trim because there isn't another thing there. But trim you're definitely going to use all the time, right? Sometimes you're just going to draw the line out to wherever and then build around it. You trim what you want from there. I'm still in trim. You hit enter to get back out of the command. Erase, as you would imagine, just straight up erases it. Rotate. Let's look at our rectangle here. I'm going to click on my rectangle. The whole thing's highlighted. I'm going to click on rotate. It's asking me the base point. I could have done it the other way. I could have clicked on the button first and then chose my rectangle. Doesn't matter what order, but I'm going to click down here on the bottom and rotate down. And because I have my polar track on, I know that this is perpendicular. I did it. Look at me go. Scale, also useful. This time I'll do it the other way. Click on the button first. I'm going to scale my rectangle bigger. I'm going to hit enter. Here you can either type in a value. For most of these you can. So say you want it to be 2 times bigger, you can type in 2. Or you click on a point and just drag it up and around and how big you want it to be. I want the rectangle to be that big now. I just scaled it larger. Offset, same idea. Let's offset this circle. But it's going to keep that circle there. And now I'm offsetting it about to say we're drawing a wall or something. Right? Offset things out. Join. Where is our individual line guy? This guy. So this, I'm gonna hold shift, this. Right now they're all separate, right? I had to hold shift to do that. If I click join, it's joined those 3 things, and now all 3 of those are one object. The opposite of that, opposite of join, you gotta jump all the way down to here, is explode. So I have those 3 highlighted. Explode, I also use this one often. The hotkey for explode is just X. Click on it. They're now separate again, right? I joined them, or you can explode them. This is match properties. I'm not going to worry about this one with you guys right now. And then lengthen, enter, click. I'm going to go here and zoom in. Look, I missed. I just want that to go there. So click, lengthen this object there. You lengthen it to the next thing that it would have intersected. All right, lengthen. I'm going to leave it there with the commands. I'm not going to go over the annotate right now. Okay, got all year. These over here on the side, important. Probably be doing layers real soon. Properties, you'll notice. Yeah, no, I don't want to go too far. That's all I want to go over right now. You'll be able to draw something, work with stuff a little bit. First assignment, at least you'll have enough information to draw that. Do pay attention to saving things, right? So you got to hit save to save it. And when we do get computers in Computer Lab, you can still open this document right on those computers as well. All right, but save to save. I'm not going to save it because I'm not. Okay? Anything else I want to go over right now? No. All right. That is AutoCAD Web, the basic commands. You're going to be using this a lot, so if that was too fast or whatever it may be, I don't even know how long I've been going right now. 25 minutes. Wow, that's long. I'm just definitely going to stop. All right, we're good. Let me know if you have any questions. We will go over this a bunch, right? It'll become second nature. All right, good luck.